from, which is at Irene's most nights. It's just fantastic.
Birdie from the Sunday Night Review.
He's had first album is out. Then to Edmonton to hear Kaylee Cardinal, who's just one of. She is present. One more CV here. The Indigenous music show Reclaim. So she's a very lovely musician as well. Was sung by the then Old Man Luke Awards, and his song. Then we to Kyle Kirkpatrick. He's in Smiths Falls and member of the band The Barrel Boys.
What an amazing instrumental track that was from Kyle Kirkpatrick.
Gorgeous, and it's his solo album called. What's the name of it? Next, from new to Pony Brad, and his songs are very listenable and really about life in the rural South, and they're a bit of a crossroad. Nod to we had from Nova Scotia, big favorites of ours, Madison Violet.
Absolutely.
Lisa McIsaac and Brenly McEachern. And actually then we had another McIsaac right after that, Ashley McIsaac, also from Nova Scotia, playing McDougall's from, that was from a compilation, The Best of Ashley McIsaac.
That was a fabulously beautiful track.
Beautiful, yes. Yeah, he's so amazing to listen to or to see live. Then in Scandinavian, and calls herself queer, disabled, and a mom. And she's actually written a book called How to Lose Everything quite recently. But she's also put out this beautiful new album called Safe Harbor. And her tune was called Like Water, Like Earth. And then we finished with Ticket Ring from the album Keeper by Campbell.
Well, it's in the studio and we'll be performing here.
He's tuning up as we speak.
He's tuning up. So, hey, how about this?
Mr. Campbell Woods, wearing a Woods Plumbing shirt and live in studio. Hey Cam, so nice to have you here.
Yeah, I noticed that Woods Plumbing shirt. Yeah.
And Campbell has driven in all the way from like the new music capital of Canada, Smiths Falls, Ontario.
Yeah, there's something happening in Smiths Falls.
There's a lot going on. There's some Barrel Boys, there's Rosalind Dennett, there's Campbell Woods. So thank you so much for coming in today, Campbell. And I would just love to start out by talking to you about the album that you dropped in the spring of 2020, the day before the world changed. And can you talk to us a little bit about how that album came to be? And yeah.
Yeah, I mean, certainly the release of the album is kind of a complicated story just because, as you said, it did happen. It coincided right with the sort of outbreak of COVID and everything kind of going sideways, which I think is probably a pretty common story for people that were releasing music at the time. But the album itself, I recorded in Montreal at the Hotel Tatango studio with a group of musicians, mostly people that I met doing the singer-songwriter residency at the Banff Center back in 2018, I guess.
And that sounded like, just to go there for a minute, like an amazing experience to be at that place.
It really was, yeah. Just so much. I think I knew at the time not to take for granted the amount of focused creative time provided, because it was 30 days of just pure, freedom to write and compose. But even though I feel like I was trying to be conscious in the moment to appreciate it for all it was, 5 or however long it's been, I still feel like, damn. Looking back, it is such a special, I guess, to provide to an artist, and it's something that goes along under very certain special circumstances.
And I think not record and to have other musicians guesting on the recording.
That's right. Yeah, there's just so many resources at the band center, like in terms of recording equipment and space and instruments, and so they sort of foster this like supercharged, super accelerated artist incubator where not only are you working on your own stuff, but you very quickly become chummy with the other people in the program, and you end up collaborating and doing fun stuff together.
Wow, it's amazing. I think that's where you met Howard.
Yeah, Howard Billerman, who is sort of engineering, producing credit on my record studio in Montreal where we recorded. He is the in-house engineer. I think maybe shy away from the producer word, although his sort of production sensibility is very attuned. And I think he is just a mentor and been a great mentor for me, and I know like countless other songwriters at all stages of their careers. He's a great mentor, a good, sort of conjure of performances, and he's heavily involved with that residency at the Banff Center. I'm not sure if it's still going on or not. I actually have no idea.
Yeah, I don't know either.
Mm-hmm.
Fantastic opportunity. Campbell Woods. Okay, let's hear the results of some of that incubation. You brought a guitar along.
Yes.
It's probably a really nice sounding guitar. We'll find out in a second here. What are you planning to play?
This is a song, I'll play a couple songs off the record. This first one is called Hoped for More. She folded and unfolded her ticket 20 times, sitting on her waiting in line. Mom's out in the parking lot, pretending she's on the phone, allowing just a couple tears, then driving home. Looking out through the dirty glass, through the rain and the cars going past, to the sign that says you're at here, call toll free anytime. She whispers on the quiet line, I'd hope for so much more, and I wanted so much more. Well, hey, don't I deserve a little more? Oh, on the plane from Coeur d'Alene, tomato juice tasted the same. She leafed through the local news, grieved through her leaving blues. Local time was 8 a.m., 3 degrees with a southeast wind. Snow still hanging on, but nothing like Alberta. In at an ungodly hour, drank some water, took a shower. By the light of the refrigerator, she whispered an angry prayer. She said, in air, I'd hope so much, and I wanted so much more. Well, hey, don't I deserve a little more?
Sort of the Von Trapp.
8 a.m. Late for work, she's late again. It used to cause all kinds of stress, but lately she's been caring less. Nobody asked, and just a couple know why last week she had to go. Most of folks keep to themselves and they don't ask any questions. But I'd hope so much more, and I wanted so much more. Hey, don't I deserve a little more?
Audience loving that performance from you live. Campbell Woods here at CKCU. How long is it since you've been in? Long time.
Years.
Yeah.
10 years.
Yeah. But we say that about everything. Guess that's the way.
Yeah.
So
We were saying you were here with Mike Kerr 2 years ago.
I think so. Yeah.
And formerly, yeah, a couple of times. I'd love to just ask you about the songwriting process. That's the question. Talk to us about your songwriting, and maybe how it is now, how it's changed, or just anything.
Yeah. I've been thinking a lot about lately, mostly because I am now the father of a 9-month-old. So the last 9 months have been, a lot of exciting changes, and that's had a big impact on, how I'm able to write, and just sort of how I prioritize, in my life. I think mostly like all the songs I've written and all the songs that are on this last album, Keeper, my approach has always been fairly undisciplined, and it involves a lot of patience and hope, but not a lot of hard work or habit, and that's kind of the way I like it. I certainly tried to learn the lessons from the people that say you have to sit in the chair every day, and if a good idea appears, how are you going to catch it if you're not at the desk? But I just don't think that's ever going to be the way I do it. So this poses a unique challenge now that I really don't have that time to kind of, take an evening or a day or a couple days to just sort of muse and wait and kind of hum and think of little ideas. Because usually with a song, it'll start with one phrase, and then I just sort of expand it out from there. I never write anything down. I never write anything down until I've written the whole song. I feel like if I start to write it down, I'll kind of lose the flow.
Is it kind of like writing a dream down before you have captured it, maybe?
Kind of, yeah. It's sort of like this delicate thing that you don't want to disturb, because it feels like it's sort of revealing itself, and sometimes writing it down feels formal, or like you have your expectations are too great of the words you're trying to get. It's like you're committing too soon. So usually it's just a lot of repeating. I just sort of sit with my guitar and just go over and over and over and over again. I'll get one line, and then I'll get a second line, and then play those over and over and over again. And so it's a slow process. Yeah, and incidentally, I haven't really been doing much writing. I think probably because that is really the only way I know how to do it.
Wow, that's really interesting. Thanks for telling us a bit about that. How about another song?
Sure. Yeah. This song is called Three Different Towns, and I can remember writing it at the Banff Center, and completely the process that I described, coming up with the first line, and then like spending a day or two, sitting in a chair, lying on the floor, just moving around the room, playing it over and over again, and eventually, actually, how did it come about? I got the first two verses, and the way it works with that program is everybody participating gets like 4 hours of studio time in this class studio. So the idea, you want to sort of maximize the opportunity. So I went in, and this song was finished, but I liked it. I had the chorus, and so I wrote the first verses, and then I did write the third verse under duress, like in the booth, much like we are now, just to finish it, to have something to record. Yeah, this is called Three Different. Well, thank God, she said, he's got a weak left hook, and lit a cigarette. Gave a little look. I hope he's not home when I get there. If he's home, I'll kill him, I swear. I just got this dog last week. He's got so much goddamned energy. I can't walk him. I gotta go to work. I hope the landlord doesn't find out. 'Cause I've lived in three a place he could come visit someday. If his dad says that it's alright, no, it's gonna be a hell of a fight. been sitting in this park lot, just sitting and 7 o'clock. I hate the thought of leaving, more than I can bear, but I wasted so much time, more than I can spare. And if my baby doesn't want me, then that's all I need to know. I know just how to pack my things and go. I wish that I could stay here just the way I am, and I wish that I could settle, but I don't think I can. 'Cause I've lived in 3 different towns since January, and it's wearing me down. I just gotta find a place I can stay. I just gotta find a place I can stay. I just gotta find a place I can stay.
Campbell Woods here on Canadian Spaces on CKCU. Wow. Fantastic song. 3 different towns.
Do you mind? I've just heard you tell this in concert. Can you tell the story of what inspired the song?
Yeah, I think in 2017 or 18, I went to Nashville to stay with some friends, and I'd never been there before, and I sort of felt like it was a sort of place where a songwriter makes a pilgrimage, so that's what I did, and was just sort of kicking around, going to open mics, and was at one particular open mic at a bar called Dee's Country Cocktail Lounge in Madison, Tennessee, just outside of Nashville, and
Mary and I were just there last week.
Oh,
so you know it. Yeah, it's legendary.
Yeah.
I think it's a Monday night when they have the open mic, and it's a great scene. It's like the bar itself is just like basically like a double wide trailer, but it's great. It was a great time, and I was out on the deck out front and overheard this woman talking. She was, it was a small deck, so it was kind of an overheard kind of collective conversation, and she had this dog with her, and she said, I think I paraphrased, but she basically said that first line, like, I think it was like, thank God for left hooks, because she had just had, or thank God for weak left hooks, because she had had a bad day, and but she had a very defiant kind of spirit, in a very inspiring way. It kind of struck me, and I think it was thank God for, at least thank God for weak left hooks. It was like, could be worse.
oh.
And so that line obviously really sort of embedded itself in my brain, and then I think a year or 2 later, I wrote that song.
Wow,
Yeah.
that long
Yeah.
That's amazing.
of a gestation period. That's interesting, Campbell.
I'm curious. I do ask this of every guest, but what were your first inklings of being interested in music, and how did you come into music, I guess, and also who were some of your songwriting influences?
Well, I find it kind of hard to pinpoint like a first inkling. I grew up in a musical houses, musical family, so there was always music of some kind being played. I think most of the first times I can really remember, if I really stretch my memory back, when I was a little kid, it was mostly stuff in movies, seeing sort of the thrill of performing on stage, where I sort of got the idea that that looked like a lot of fun. I'm thinking mostly of is it Michael J. Fox in Back to the Future when he does Johnny Be Good? That was a big one, and School of Rock with Jack Black was popular.
Oh, those
As
are
a little kid, and that really, I think I was the same age as the kids in that movie, so so I mean, I think that really, those sorts of scenes, because it was always like, those movies always had these great scenes. There was this culminating performance, and it was just pure glory, whether, especially I think of that Johnny Be Good, Back to the Future. It's like, it was the coolest thing I'd
Yeah.
ever seen as a kid. So
You know,
yeah.
interestingly, I just heard Katie Lang, an older interview on you last week, and she talked about, she answered the same question and said she'd always liked music, but it was seeing someone on stage that made her think, I'm going to do that.
Yeah, I mean that's interesting because I think I've tried to answer this question in ways before, but I think there's something about the real. I think the real inspiration is wanting to make a song or a performance that makes someone feel the way the thing you see and are excited by, the way that thing you feel. That really, I think, is for me, just feeling so, whatever it is, like held by a song or uplifted or seen, understood, and feeling that sort of deep connection to a song, and then just having the desire to try and turn that back out to the world, I guess, if you can. I think that's been really the main. Like I could break it down into different artists or songs, but that's like the overall feeling.
Yeah, you're sort of a vessel in a way.
Yeah. I think everybody, feels that way about a song at different times in their life. Everybody, singing along in the car or whatever. Like that's why we have songs. But I don't know why some people feel like I'm gonna take a try. I'm gonna give this a try. I'm gonna try and do this thing.
Yeah.
But that's how it worked for me.
That's really interesting. And so who have become some of your songwriting influences is such an I feel like I'm interviewing Jimmy Rabbit right now.
Tell me about your influences. Yeah. When I first got into writing songs, I was about 17 or 18. It was Townes Van Zandt and Clark and Lucinda Williams and like those sort of, that kind of Texan troubadour tradition, those heavyweights. And that was the music that was really touching me at the time. So those were the kinds of songs I was trying to emulate and the kind of feelings I was trying to capture. So those were foundational. And now, these days, I just feel like anytime a song comes along that kind of turns your head. I mean, I guess that was 10 years ago. I feel like I was a little more porous emotionally, and just sort of like things would just kind of sweep you off your feet, like a song would sweep you off your feet. But 10 years on, just any song, like any turn of phrase, any observation, any hook, that turns your head and makes you feel something. I just think like that's so special. It doesn't matter what it is. Now, yeah.
It's lovely. Well, let's hear another song.
Great. Okay. Well, this is the first song I ever wrote when I was listening to those sad Texan tragic troubadours. And there's a great movie about Townes Van Zandt called Be Here to Love Me. And there's a scene where it's like you're hearing a recording of a phone call that he's having, and he's sort of in this manic state, and he's describing how he wants to write a new song that's just all about birds and different names of different birds. And I think there's this sort of solicitous manager or somebody on the other end of the phone is kind of listening to this, and somebody makes a connection to Van Gogh, something about cutting his ear off, and he says, yeah, I'm a lot like Van Gogh. So this song is called Van Gogh. How's the baby? Remember to sing to him. It'll be a week before I can call again. Oh, the warden's cracking down on us all, and I can't find myself a dime behind these prison walls. You don't think that life is kinda sad? Me and Van Gogh do, it's just the manic depressive blues. They're acting up again. They're acting up again. Well, I see him on his way each day. He doesn't even have money to pay for the rose he brings. And the smell of hospital is like home. She won't get to see him grow. It's the aggressive kind. You don't think that life is kinda sad? Me and Van Gogh do, but mister, it's just manic depressive blues. They're acting up again. They're acting up again. And I'll take 450 volts to my head, spend the month in bed, and forget about my pain. I'll have the number, fit fries if you please, and occupy my window seat every Friday at 5. She used to love it when I take her tray and pretend like we were 17 again, with all these years gone by. You don't think that life is kinda sad? Me and Van Gogh do, but mister, it's just the manic depressive blues. They're acting up again. They're acting up again.
That makes me cry every time. That was the first song you ever wrote?
Yep. Yeah.
Oh, it's very, very powerful.
That was a pretty good beginning. Campbell Woods.
Yeah.
Way to go. What an
Thanks,
amazing
guys.
song. I'm sure you've received lots of positive feedback about that one.
I have, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I appreciate that. Yeah.
So where are you at now? You have a young lad. You're trying to find time to write. What is next musically?
Well, to be completely honest, my thoughts on that change every day right now. Like I don't really have a clear trajectory that I can see. So I'm just sort of, well, I realized yesterday or something, the main thing that's been kind of keeping my music for myself kind of alive is this long phone where I've just been writing stuff down, little lines and observations, and I just started doing it, at work, but a while ago, and now it's become very long. So it's pages and pages of these little notes. But that's that's sort of all I've got right now in terms of a creative process or an idea about where to go from here. So yeah, I've got I do have some gigs coming up this summer that I'm excited about.
Yeah, tell us about your festival gig.
Yeah, this in August, I'm going to make the trip out to Red Rock, just I think it's an hour east of Thunder Bay, a great festival that I've never been to, but I've heard lots of great things about, called Live from the Rock. Jean-Paul Deruver runs that right now, and that's going to be a lot of fun. And actually, my friends the Barrel Boys who also live in Smith Falls are also making the trip, so it's going to be
It's going to be a convoy from Smith Falls.
Yeah.
That is really fun. Well, even without specifically writing brand new material, you're playing, and it seems like there's so much collaboration where you live. Even it's it seems like it's a very fertile ground artistically.
It really is. Yeah, and I think in the summer months, everybody, like, you guys get busy and are touring around and traveling, but come winter, we all just kind of hole up and get lots of opportunity to go over to each other's houses and jam and work on stuff. And so I think continuing to foster that is it's the best way forward, because I think it's probably the whole point of the whole venture anyway, is just those opportunities to work together and make fun in where you actually live. It's easy to kind of get caught up with social media, thinking so broadly and globally, but certainly having a chance to get together in each other's kitchens and play songs that's probably as good as it gets.
And we've heard so much of that from the last 3 years that we've all lived through, that people have really dug into their own space and into ways of exchanging without, just in brand new ways. So it certainly seems that your is resonating with a lot of the conversations we've had lately.
That's cool. Yeah.
That's
Campbell,
great.
how about one more song before Nick Field joins us here on Canadian Spaces?
Yeah, one more song.
Yeah.
What do you got? I have a number of favorites personally, but I'm wondering what you're thinking of.
What I'm thinking of?
Yeah.
Well, I only prepared 2, so I'm already in no man's land. So
Do you need my phone for some
Welcome
lyrics?
to Canadian Spaces.
Yeah.
Where we
Prepared, I don't
improv
know
with
what
the
that
best.
means.
Yeah.
I guess, yeah. I don't know. Did you play in your playlist a song by Ellen Fraser?
No, we didn't.
That's okay.
Not this week. I said I would.
Make an album together?
We did, yeah. Made an album together. We called it Farm Boy Sings the Blues. We recorded it in an outbuilding on her family farm just outside of Saskatoon. And that was another kind of mini writing treat sort of exercise, because we weaseled our way into a booking at Ness Creek Folk Festival and said that we had an original act, the 2 of us, but we didn't have any material. So we got together 2 weeks before the festival and we wrote like 10 songs.
I love it.
Recorded them and then played them at the festival.
You're speaking the language of Canadian Spaces, believe me, Campbell.
play a song that I wrote for that project. It's just something I don't play as much. It's called Something I Should Know. There's something I should know. Tell me now before I pack my bag, 'cause I'm gonna find my boots and go. And I won't say the words I wish I had. It's just something I should say. Is there a way to see it through? It's just something I should do. No, there's nothing I say. I've tried that before. I don't want to do it anymore. I've gone down that line. I want to get it right this time. There's something I should know. Call me up before I board the plane. There's still time to go. Say the word and I'll turn again. It's just something I say. Is there a way to see it through? It's just something I could do. No, there's nothing I can say. But I've tried that before. Don't want to do it anymore. I've gone down that line. I'd like to get it right this time. Is there something I should know? It's hard letting go. I'm gonna hold on one last time, 'cause if there's nothing I can do, and there's nothing I can say, no way to see it through. Maybe I'll see you some fine day. I've tried that before. Don't want to do it anymore. I've gone down that line. I'd like to get it right this time.
was a beautiful closing track there from Campbell Woods.
It was wonderful.
Carol.
Yeah. Thank you, Campbell, for being here. And now
And
we
now,
have
joining
someone
us
else.
now, right here in the studio, Nick Field. How's it going? Wait, let me turn on the mic and ask you again.
Yeah, there we
Now,
go. I
how's
see
it
you
going?
on air, so
Hey,
now-
Nick.
I'm good. How are you?
Good. We're so glad you're here.
Yeah, I'm glad I made it.
I wandered into Irene on Sunday night,
Oh, great.
into this magical setting that was the Sunday Night Review with singers, but there were circus performers and cameras being passed around the, like a full-on immersive cabaret, I would say.
Yeah, we struggled to come up with a good name for it, but I think that's a good one. Yeah, we like to have fun.
That is a good one. Immersive cabaret.
Yeah,
Because it is hard to describe. It's unique.
it really is. Can you just tell us a little bit about how that came about, Nick, and what your involvement is in that?
Well, it's Bertie White, Sonny Aiken, Callum Jackson, Mark Halbert, Sal, and I, and we've all been friends for decades, some of us, and have always played music together. And at some point in the past decade, it kind of went our separate ways. Sonny ended up joining the circus in Montreal, and so that's where the circus comes from. And we're all into kind of old-timey stuff, so that's where the film photography comes from. And we all just know each other's songs, and we wanted to create a space where we could grow that with more people as well. So we like to bring people into the show as much as we can, and you see that with the features we sometimes have, like people who have just been coming to the review, and then we end up hearing them play, and we're like, wow, you should join us on stage. This is great, and we're slowly building a really nice little community there, and it's just taken off. So
Every
Wonderful.
Sunday evening at Irene's Pub in the Glebe in Ottawa, 885 Bank Street.
you got it. Yeah,
And no cover. It's pay what you can.
no cover. It's pay what you can. We have a
Starts
big
at
old tip
8:30.
jar there. Yeah.
8:30 p.m.
But they also have prizes and games and stuff.
Yeah,
It's
all kinds of
it's
fun
full on. A
dimensions.
table on stage, and you just never know what's going to happen
Juggling.
up there.
Yeah, we like
Tell how
on
excited
stage.
we are about your show. Well, listen, would you play us a song now that you're here?
I would love to. Yeah. Maybe I'll play an old classic of mine. And actually, if anybody went to CA and Sonny's CD release, they covered the song for me, which was a real honor and a treat. So I'll play that one. It's called Ruby Falls. Come with me down to Ruby Falls. Well, I'll bring the wine. If you wear your overalls, they'll come up above. We'll swim in the get some lunch in the river at the bottom of Ruby Falls. And all the little fish will nibble at our toes as we wade in to the murky shallows. We'll cast our lines and might all get caught in a tree.
That was good.
And we'll spend the afternoon trying to unhook
You see the
me.
email? What we teach.
What do I? What's that about?
That's not.
Come with me down we falls. I'll show you the fort I built when I was barely tall enough to reach the first inch of the best climbing tree you can dream of. And then the boards will creak, my whole world will reach the ground. But I'm fine, yes I'm fine. Well, I'm just gonna wait down by the water where I can clean my feet. There's a couple of scrapes that went pretty deep, but I'm fine, yes I'm fine. As long as you're next to me, all I really need is a kiss on the cheek. So come with me, Ruby Falls. Come with me down to Ruby Falls. Well, I'll bring the wine if you wear your overalls down Ruby Falls. On Ruby Falls. On Ruby Falls. Oh, Ruby.
Yay. That's you,
Oh,
Nick Field.
that is
NIK,
beautiful.
Nick Field, part of the Sunday Night Review, REVUE.
Yes.
That kind of review.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
you
that
guys have
reads
a
every Sunday evening.
and you have a recording on SoundCloud, right? We played a cut off that called the Sunday Night Review mixtape.
Yeah, I think it's on Bandcamp, but
Yeah.
it's a physical CD that Mark Albert put together for us, and we wanted to have something, a recording of some sort, so we all just threw him a few tracks. He put it all onto tape and then redigitized it, so it kind of has a cohesive sound to it, and it's a fun little project.
Which is available at your shows.
Yes, it is. Yeah, and they're all hand stamped and handmade.
Yeah.
You want to come and grab one?
I have one at home. It's great.
Right. So that's highly recommended. Nick Field, running out of time. So
Okay.
we are wondering, Carolyn and I, if you could play some something or other to play us out.
Oh, instrumental
the
something or
point.
other.
Well, you
Or
can You can
sing
sing.
is something that you don't mind getting faded out.
Is it better to burn or fade away? That's the question.
Yeah.
Just depending.
But while you're we want to thank you again for coming, and I have plans. You guys are coming back.
I just
That's
want to
happening.
personally invite tomorrow night and join the community. And we also have an open mic at the Ottawa Bike Cafe that a few of us run that we just started last week. So another place to come meet us all.
Where's the Ottawa Bike Cafe?
It's on Spark Street, 79 Spark Street.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, that's wonderful.
Yeah.
Well, thank you. And I just respect so much and appreciate the immersive cabaret, the participatory nature of your music and how you draw people in and treat us to beautiful sounds.
And I don't know if we have time, but I should just say we do have an awesome featured act tomorrow night as well. Sister Swire and Eric Stephen Martin from Toronto. So that's
okay.
an
Oh,
Lovely.
Yeah.
okay, that's to note. So, what do you think? Do you have a little?
I can play a
something?
little
What do you
something
think?
that I don't mind
He
fading
can
out.
sing. He
Well,
can
thank
sing.
you for joining us here on Canadian Space. Nick Field.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much, Nick, and we'll see everybody the next time. Thank you.
Blue skies and waterfalls, all frozen in time. Till I finally got away from it all, and I lost my damn mind. Oh my mind, my mind. Oh my mind, oh my mind. Snow falls and dark falls like a blanket over time. Well, I'm blinded and well fed, but I'm losing the light. Oh, the light.
Yeah, no, we're finished.
Oh, the light. Oh, light. Oh, light.
We're from the 72nd State Mark Scout Troop. You're listening to CKCU FM 93.1.
Lord.
Not dot.
You are listening to CKCU